Welcome to Pencil for Life. This is the one and the only Brad. How's everybody doing today? With me today, I got Crypto Comics. Do you want me to say your name? Is that all right?
You can call, yeah, sure. We can talk about my name's Matt. Yeah.
Matt, cool. Welcome today, dude. I wanted to go over what I plan on to be doing for 2019 and my review for the Venom movie because I finally saw it last night. So
I'm so excited to hear about it.
Okay. I hope so. We'll see how it goes. Did you hey, good dog, how's it going, man? Manny and Josh was in the chat as well.
Oh man, I that stream with Manny the other night was amazing.
That was insane. That was fun though. Playing with was it Reiki? What's his name? Yeah, I can't remember. Risey. That's right. I kept muting him. I always mispronounce his name. So
he was great. He is the funniest dude.
So
my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was
top
insane.
Stream, Manny. Top stream, brother.
Very true. All right, so let's just dig into Venom first. There is Risey. How you doing, Risey?
Oh, there they are.
Yep.
See, you should have brought them in. They're way better than me.
You know what? Maybe I'll hit me up on Twitter, guys. I'll give you the link. So, but let's talk about Venom. Let me actually post.
Specifically, let's have you talk about Venom because I haven't seen Venom. Now, I'll just tell you, like, when I see Venom, I see Tom Hardy and I think, oh, how dreamy. And then I think, oh, what a great actor. And then I think, oh, what a perfect buff stud to play Eddie Brock.
Yeah.
And then I see Venom and I think, oh my God, is this 1997?
Okay. So
he looked plastic. You know, I hate CG that looks plastic.
Yeah, okay. He did look a little plastic. I will be truthful with that. So he did look a little rubberized.
Yeah.
You know, I missed the logo on the front, you know, but you know, it's I guess it's just the way it is, you know, for the movie because he didn't have the spider suit yet. They didn't do the normal way of bringing him in, so
which was stupid.
Yeah, I mean, it felt weird because he wasn't.
So, like, spoiler alert: how did he end up with the symbiote? Like, he didn't go to the church.
No. Okay. So, what happened was he was. If you haven't seen the movie yet, this is all spoilers, but
it's all just first act stuff, though. So don't worry.
Shuttle or something like that ran by a comet in space. They picked up some symbiotes, tried to get back to Earth, and did not work out so well. So they crashed. One got free, and then 3 more were taken to the facility where this rich billionaire Elon Musk type character was. So, but I don't know how I feel about it. Like, it just wasn't the same. Like, it just didn't feel the same. But it was you kind of have to look at it like not a Marvel movie, you know. You have to look at it as just kind of a standalone movie. I would say
it's a Sony movie, and Sony has a reputation for really screwing up Marvel properties.
Yeah, they do. They do screw up Marvel properties quite a bit. But it was not. It wasn't bad. Like, it wasn't like a completely trash movie, unless you're going and expecting this is going to be the Venom from the comics. This is not. This is like a Venom developed for like a TV show or a movie, completely separate of any other Marvel influences. So, you know, but it was a good popcorn flick.
Great. And I want you to explain what you mean by that. It was a good popcorn flick.
Okay, so how do I explain that?
If you didn't know anything about Venom, you would have liked it.
I think so, yeah, because it had action, had some craziness, a guy getting, you know, kind of taken over. He didn't know what to do. You know, it's the jokes between Venom or the dialogue between the Venom character and Eddie Brock, I thought were funny. You know, like, oh, we're going to die. No, we're not going to die. You know, because if you die, I die, you know, and they just had a really great dialogue between each other. You know, not being able to control what's happening around him was kind of cool. So, I mean, he gets as a guy who went from being like kind of all there, being a kind of a dickish reporter, stuck in his own ways, and then all of a sudden he's losing complete control of his life and what's happening around him. I thought it was a good mix for the character. It wasn't like the typical Eddie Brock from the comics, where he instantly became like powerful and knowing who he was.
Mm-hmm.
The two beings had to work together a little bit back and forth. So I think the dynamic between them was actually pretty good. So.
And would you say that it was better than Amazing Spider-Man 2?
Better than Amazing Spider-Man 2. So that was the one with Sandman, right? No,
that was Amazing the one with Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx. God. Yeah, it was better than Amazing Spider-Man 2.
How much better?
How much better? Hands down, I'd rather watch Venom than Amazing Spider-Man 2.
At any point, did Tom Hardy go, "We are Venom"?
Just at the very end. Yep. Yeah. Just.
Did it have a stinger at the end?
I did have a stinger at the end. Yeah.
Okay. Was it good?
It was okay. I mean, it leads into one of the biggest Venom Spider-Man storylines. So.
Would that be Carnage?
It would be.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
And do you think they'll ever make the Sinister Six?
I doubt they will ever make the Sinister Six.
Years ago, I had a subscription to a magazine called Empire Magazine, which was a UK film magazine.
Okay, I remember that one. Yeah.
And Sony had like plotted out 6 Spider-Man movies.
Mm-hmm.
And basically after Amazing Spider-Man 2, they just said, screw it.
Yeah.
Because they ruined it. They ruined it.
They totally did. And they had the outfits for most of them in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
And they had something special going on there. And with the first one, Amazing Spider-Man, I thought was fantastic. And I just couldn't believe that they aborted it so hard with part 2, even though Jamie Foxx looked stellar.
Jamie Foxx was excellent. Oh my gosh, dude.
I mean, once he was Electro, he was excellent. When he was the corny scientist, that was the worst shit I've ever seen.
I don't know about the worst.
It's pretty bad, man.
It was pretty bad, but still. It was.
Would you rather watch Amazing Spider-Man Part 2 or Spider-Man Part 3 with Tobey Maguire?
Ooh.
And the singing.
God. 3.
Okay. Would you rather watch Amazing Spider-Man? Excuse me. Would you rather watch Spider-Man 3 or Spider-Man Homecoming?
Oh, Homecoming.
Oh, okay. I hated Homecoming. I wanted to commit harikiri after watching that.
No, so I liked in Homecoming. I liked the Vulture.
I hated.
I love the take on it, and I always like how Michael Keaton is as an actor. He was good.
I love Michael Keaton. I thought they could have done so much more with him.
I think they could still do some more with him. Like, I don't think he's gonna be maybe totally out of the picture yet, but dude, I loved the look of the Vulture. With the big wings and everything. Mm-hmm. I love how he had a bomber jacket on with goggles and everything. It just looked really cool. So, yeah.
I have a wildly different opinion. I would have rather seen Michael Keaton's face.
I don't know, man. No, I liked the way it was. It was good. Okay. Yeah.
Did you see Into the Spider-Verse?
I have not seen that one yet. I'm gonna go see that probably next week.
Oh, I look forward to your review of that.
Cool.
So tell me more. So how much of a 90s movie was this Venom with Tom Hardy?
I wouldn't say very 90s at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did it have that same trashy vibe that Wolverine had?
Are you talking about Logan or?
I'm talking about the Wolverine.
Oh, the Wolverine? Oh,
remember that one with the terrible Silver Samurai? God. And the lizard chick who was just completely made up out of thin air.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember that one now. No, it did not. It felt a little bit different. Okay. So this one felt, I don't know. It felt a little bit out of place, especially the Elon Musk character and the location of where they had his building.
Oh, the Elon Musk character. Now explain that.
So there's like this philanthropist or whatever, billionaire, playboy, scientific genius guy.
Was he smoking dope?
He could have been. I don't know.
Like the real Elon Musk?
I doubt it. But no, like he Starts off with one invention, rolls into another, It becomes this. It's kind of like the Virgin, Atlantic guy. Forget his name.
Aquaman?
No, the British guy. Runs
Richard Branson.
Branson, yeah.
They said the Atlantic guy.
No. He always has like his hands in mini pies.
Virgin.
Type thing. Yeah, Virgin. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah. So those guys are. I mean, they of course they use that guy as a capital greed type thing, and then they're using. Yeah.
Was there some virtue signaling in this movie?
A little bit, but not too much.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can overlook it with everything that was happening in the show to the characters that it wasn't that bad. So, yeah. But
that was also part of my issue with the Spider-Man: Homecoming. Was the virtue signal was so strong with Mary Jane when she refused to go on the Washington Monument that it's just like, wow, way to alienate the audience, and that is exactly why I won't watch another Sony movie like Venom.
Okay. Yeah. No, this one wasn't bad. I thought it was like I said, it was a good, fun watch. Don't go in expecting to be like the Marvel Venom from the comics.
Oh, well, you look at it and you can tell it's not that.
Yeah. So,
I mean, it does have the look. I mean, while looking still like plastic because it's not.
Now, I did
CG,
like how they gave nods to him, like leaving New York because of work, and some little things like that. There's some little nods back and forth to him, Eddie Brock being in New York, being a reporter. Stuff like that. So, yeah.
Now, my next question is, why are you showing Venom #1 from Marvel Comics? Why are you not showing the poster?
Because I like this version better.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
I do too.
Yeah. So, and this is one I can grab on short notice.
Tom Hardy's performance was spectacular, just like in every movie he's in.
Not spectacular, but it was definitely watchable. Like, it's not as great as like Warrior. I think Tom Hardy's portrayal in Warrior was really, really top notch. I loved his character in there, but yeah, it's because it's a different kind of movie altogether. So, yeah. But
so on a scale of 1 to 30, what would you rate this movie?
On a 1 to 30.
Yeah, I make people think a little bit harder. You give them 1 to 10, and everybody goes 7 and up.
Yeah, I get you.
Say 1 to 30, it's like, ooh, 1 to 30. Is it a 14?
No, I think it's a little above. I would say like maybe
18.
18, yeah. 18, 19. Yeah.
Slightly above average. It's a C+.
Slightly, yeah.
So it's not worth $11 in the theater.
No, definitely not. It's out on DVD
Boxer.
now. Yeah. That's why I got it. So
it's out on DVD already.
Yeah, DVD and Blu-ray. It came out on the 18th. That's why I was quite surprised.
Come out in theaters like 3 weeks ago.
Felt like it. Yeah.
It does feel like it.
Yeah, no, it's out. Yeah,
wow.
That's how I got it.
Well, I might have to hit the red box then.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth a red box watch, no problem.
Yeah, a lot of things are. That's for sure. It's kind of interesting how our society has changed that much. Where they've made those, if they made better movies, people wouldn't be shy about spending $11 to watch it. But
dude, yeah.
I miss the good old days when it was like $3.75 for a matinee, dude. $3.25 for a matinee. I saw Last Action Hero for $3.25.
Where I live, movies are still relatively cheapish for a matinee. So like a matinee is like $5.50, I think.
What's the evening show?
Evenings are about $7, maybe 8.
So, are you not going to like a Regal or Century? No. You're going to a little local theater.
Yeah, Cinemark. Yeah.
Oh, very good, very good. I like.
Yeah. It's not bad. Yeah, and then but they have here because like there's big families out here. So all movies on Tuesdays are $5 at most theaters. So
wow.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, not bad at all.
Yeah, in Utah, like everybody's got 12 kids in their family.
Yeah, so everybody does. Yep.
They make a friggin' fortune at the theater, I bet.
That's what we try, So
that's cool.
Yep. But anyways.
So what else are you gonna do now that you've finished watching Venom? What are your plans for the future?
Okay, 2019.
2019.
In the future. Okay, so we got some things moving on 2019, which is why you're on here. You're one of them. But first thing is Handyman marketing.
What is
Marketing's going to
handyman?
start January 14th.
No, marketing starts right now. What is handyman?
Starts right now. So handyman, I started that one last year. We went to Indiegogo. It did not go as planned.
No, you never talk about things that didn't go as planned. You talk about you
No,
just
that's
pretend like
fine.
that never happened.
No, because what came from that though was good. So
What did come from that was good? Let's talk about that. What did you learn?
advice from John Malin, Akari Press, and some other people who sat down with me after we pulled the campaign.
What was the biggest piece of advice you got that you really felt like, oh, this is where we erred and we are going to correct this in 2019?
Nobody knowing who you are. That's probably the best one. You need to get your name out there, do things in the community, participate in discussions, market yourself so people understand who you are, as a person, and show that you're passionate about what you want to do. I would say that's the biggest flaw anybody can make when just trying to make a book outright, especially if they don't know who you are. I mean, I've worked at the store, a comic book shop for a number of years. I've been doing art for a long time, since as long as I can remember. But nobody knew who I was, So.
And you've made quite a name for yourself just in your short time with Drawn and Quartered Fan Edition.
Yeah, in the comics community, yeah, but also around. I've been doing a lot of conventions since 2013.
Oh, really?
Okay. Yeah. So, I've been doing Salt Lake Comic Con, Las Vegas Comic Con, Long Beach Comic Con, Emerald City. So, yeah.
And what do you do at these Comic Cons, Brad?
Mostly I sell original artwork, commissions, stuff like that.
Do you like the guy that I would pay to, and you'd sit there and you draw a picture for me for an hour?
Correct. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So I got pretty fast at drawing. So, worked on that quite a bit. So, my buddy Sal Velluto, if you don't know who Sal Velluto is, back in the 80s and 90s, he drew for Marvel and DC. He, his buddy used to come. I used to work in computers. Let's back up a little bit further. I was working at a data center called C7 Data Centers, and I was not going anywhere with my artwork. I was just trying to earn money, but I would sit there and draw when it was downtime. Mm-hmm. Sal Velluto's buddy came in to the shop or to the data center and caught me drawing. And so when he saw me drawing, he's like, "Hey, you're pretty good." I'm like, "Oh, thanks, man." He's like, "Do you know Sal?" I'm like, "Sal?" I'm like, "No, I don't know Sal." And he's like, Sal Velluto? I'm like, "No." I'm like, "I've never heard of the guy." He's like, "Oh, well, hey, call this number tomorrow." I'm like, "All right, whatever." And then I went home and I Googled who Sal Velluto was. And Sal Velluto has the longest run with Bob Almond on Black Panther. So they did it for, I think, 10 years, something like that.
Wow.
The Black Panther run. But he's also worked for, he drew Batman for Detective Comics, drew Green Lantern, Six Pack, things like that. So he's been in the industry for over 30 years. He draws the Phantom currently overseas. So,
oh, very cool.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. He's like the nicest guy in the world too. And so I called up his number the next day. He's like, "Oh, is this Brad?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Hey, my friend was telling me about you. Said you draw pretty good." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Can you come up this weekend?" I'm like, "Sure." He's like, "Bring your artwork, bring some pens." I'm like, "Okay." So I went up to his place and met him. He only lives about 40 minutes away from me, which is kind of neat. And this is probably 2012, I think. Yeah. So I went up to his place. He looked at my stuff. He's like, "Okay, you're pretty good." And he has this tiny little room. And this is his little studio. It's like literally like probably 6 feet by 8 feet. So it's tiny, especially with the desk. And he has 30 years worth of paper stacked up from all the drawings he's done.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm in there with him, and I'm a fat guy. So like it's really tiny. and there's a little kitty drawing desk over in the corner. And he's like, "Hey, sit down here for a second. You're going to draw with me."
You
I'm like,
at the child desk.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
Sitcom.
it's kind of funny. Yeah, so and so he had me just start drawing lines in ink, and so from there I was doing that for a few days for him, and he's like, "Hey, you're gonna help me ink one of my books." So he paid me to ink one of the Phantom books for overseas. I helped with it. I did it on. Didn't do the main characters. I did all the background stuff to start with. Like dumpsters and bricks and things like that. So trash on the ground. All the little main stuff that wasn't main story involved. And then Travis Walton, who's a professional inker and colorer for DC and stuff like that, came over to my house because he lived in Spanish Fork, which is south of me. Would pick up the pages and finish the rest. So I cut my chops on inking with him a little bit and stuff. And then they announced that Salt Lake Comic Con was coming. This happened for about a month. And then Salt Lake Comic Con was coming. He was going to be a guest. I'm like, "Oh, cool, man. I'll come see you." He's like, "No, I got you a table." I'm like, "Wait, what?" And he got me a table. I wasn't ready to show everybody yet. And so he's like, "Yeah, grab a table. You got a table. Get some artwork done. Get your work ready to go. You're going to be there." And so they gave me a table right front and center of Artist Alley, right across from Stan Lee's photo booth. And I was like, "Oh, okay. So this is really happening." So I put some work together. Didn't know how it was going to go. But the cool thing was one, I got to see Stan Lee. I never got to meet the guy. But I was nervous as all hell, because I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do, what I'm going to sell, So anyways, I put it all together, and I get there, I sit at my table. I'm sitting down day one. It's a 3-day event, so Thursday's kind of slow, but it was all busy because it was the first con. So like it was slow-ish. Anyways, they come over, like people are starting to line up in front for photos and stuff. And they start looking at my artwork, but the line got so busy, everybody was packed and they couldn't move anywhere. So everybody's just talking to me like we're talking now. And got my first commission, which was Dr. Doom, by one of my friends, Frank. Now he's a friend of mine, and he hires me to do artwork off and on. He's a cool dude. And he went and got that drawing signed by Stan Lee, brought it back, showed me. I was ecstatic.
Cool.
Yeah, even Stan liked it. So it was great. It was that was my first thing into the comic world type thing, is trying to do artwork full time. And I just started kicking over commissions after that, and little by little just got better and better. And then after that con, like I did the next con. So out here they do them every 6 months. So
I'm gonna ask you to do what NWA. Are you familiar with NWA?
No.
They're a rap group. They were a rap group.
Dr. I know who they were.
Ice Cube,
yeah.
MC Ren, and Yella.
Yeah.
So they would ask you to show and prove. And so what I want to know is, do you have any sequential art on your computer that you can show to all the beautiful people watching, the 14 sexy people watching this right now?
Of Handyman or just anything?
Anything that shows off your talent. Screw this Marvel comic. Yeah, it looks cool, but so what? Brad's
I think I do. Awesome. 1 second, hold on.
But
there's some stuff I did for. It is like, it's not real. It's just like photos. But 1 sec. These are some of the. Where's my controller here? There it is. Let me pick. Screen share.
And I just want to make sure that everyone knows that if we are going to debate who is the sexiest person in the chat right now, it's actually Draw and Talk. I have that on good authority.
Okay. So can you see that? I did this for Draw and Talk when I was first trying to get some pages going and stuff. So
okay. And your specialty is black and white. You do a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
actually. I would actually say grayscale.
Yeah. So
what you do.
These were his pictures taken on his phone in his bed. So.
Oh my god. Okay, and how long ago did you draw these?
I don't know, Tyler. How long ago was it? It was. I think it was just the summer right before I did Handyman. So.
And that was just this last year.
Yeah,
this
I just
year,
cranked him out real quick.
2018.
Yeah.
And your artwork has already gotten vastly better than this. It's amazing.
Correct. Yeah. So, just because I keep drawing every day.
So. Yeah, that's the key.
Yeah. Oh, let's not show that yet. There's a Pickle Rick. So that's why it does what it looks like when I'm done. I do the grayscales and everything. So.
Now, Santa Raven wants us to determine who in the stream has the sexiest feet in the chat.
Oh, please no. God.
Is Pope Fire in the chat? I don't see her, so I'm going to say that since she's not in the chat, I'm going to probably say that, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if PS Melter has some really sexy feet. But sure John Dillard Gaming the System says that Raven's feet are sexy AF.
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm going to ask for Santa Raven to post a picture of feet. Are we talking about Santa Raven or Raven the comic book character? Because Raven the comic book character isn't a real person, so she can't be in the chat.
Let's not go with feet, man. I don't want to.
You don't like feet? Are they because they stink?
Stink, yeah.
What size shoe do you wear, Brad? You're a very large man.
I'm a large guy. I'm tall too. I go size 14.
Size 14. Wow. Regular Shaq Fu.
No, Shaq Fu's like 20 something, dude. It's like 26.
Don't. I'm trying to get you over with the ladies.
No, I'm good, Shaq Fu. I'm good, Matt. Fine. But let's talk about 2019 stuff still.
Okay, let's do that. What else?
Handyman's coming up.
And so, and have you actually sat here and described what Handyman is?
Oh, we have not yet here. Handyman is about a former cartel hitman who got out of the industry and moved to the United States.
Where did he come from?
Mexico, Juarez, Mexico.
Oh, Juarez.
Yeah. Okay. So he is Latino character.
I've been there actually. It's a show.
Oh, I can't believe he got out alive.
Can I tell you a story about it? So
sure.
This was over a decade ago. I had a friend who was in the military station in El Paso there at Fort Bliss.
Okay.
And I go down to visit him for a few days, and you know he's got a couple of like girls who were kind of army brats who he hung out with, and they say, "Oh, let's go to Juarez. Let's go to Juarez." And so I say, "Yeah, okay, that sounds fun. That sounds like a lot of fun," because I don't know what's going on. And as we're driving towards the border, they say, "Now, just don't go past the third block." I'm like, what do you mean? And they said, "Well, just nobody goes past the third block. You don't go past the third block." And so, of course, my curiosity is, you know, because I'm curious like a cat. I have some friends who call me Mittens. It's not true. I have to go and see what's going on past the third block, right? Okay. So I walk in, and you got to understand, like, just imagine 2 city blocks, and I mean, it's just packed. I mean, packed with American kids. And I go down the first block, and then I walk down the second block, and I get to the end of the second block, and you look at the third block, and it is a ghost town. Okay. And you turn around, and it's like literally 2,000 American kids packed into these 2 city blocks, and not one person on the third block. And I was just like, I'm going back to the first block. I tailed it back. So that's most dangerous. I think it's like the most dangerous city on earth, actually.
It is, except for the Mormon compound outside. Yeah.
Oh, there's a Mormon compound there.
There is, yeah. Apparently, so this is gonna has to do with Handyman too. But Vice did I hate Vice, but they did a documentary on the Mormons in Juarez. I'm like, what? Mormons in Juarez? It turns out it's a faction offshoot of the Mormon religion when polygamy was canceled. And so they moved down to Mexico because they could do what they wanted, right? But the Mormons had this little compound just outside Juarez, okay? And down there, the drug cartels will not mess with them. So, because what happened was one time they kidnapped their leader, killed him. And they all had guns. They all gathered together and hunted down those men in the drug cartel. And they took care of them. It is so safe there that even the police have put their police stations there for their cops to be safe at the Mormon town. It's kind of interesting. So, but let's get back to Handyman. So, he was a drug cartel hitman. He left to raise his family in America. He gets pulled back in by the government to do a job to help rescue some people. Well, what happens is while he's doing the job, he sees some pretty horrific things. And at this point, he changes modes and he decides to stay down here and help out the people of Juarez and not go home right away for some specific reasons that we'll go over in the book. But he deals out his own type of justice. So you want to think of him kind of like the Mexican Punisher, right?
Oh, okay.
Who doesn't use guns. He only uses tools.
Oh, he uses tools.
Yeah. He refuses to use firearms at all. So he uses things like saws, knives, So
this is going to be a very graphic book, not for the kids.
This is not for kids. Yeah.
So. Does he have a tattoo of the Virgin Mary on his back?
No, but maybe he should.
Well, you know why they do that, right?
No.
Because the Virgin Mary is so sacred, to Catholics in Mexico, that by having the tattoo of the Virgin Mary on your back, another gang member will not stab you in the back, literally. Okay. This is true. Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're going to try to do much more than that to him, but it's going to be a fun ride. We made the book because we wanted a fun adventure. We wanted something that was just a good fun read, dude. Because there's nothing out there right now. It's a good fun read. Even Punisher's been neutered in Marvel, so
Have you ever neutered an animal, Brad?
No. Yeah. No.
Okay.
But so that's what's happening for the first part. 2018 is the Handyman Indiegogo. After that, though, I believe you and I are working on a book.
You and I? You asked it like it was a question.
Yeah. I believe you and I are working on.
We are working on a book. We are working on a book.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about that right now? Do we want to stick with Handyman?
No.
Here's the interesting thing is I'm actually working on a couple books. I'm working on a couple books with my good friend Nasser Rabati.
Yep. Oh yeah, I'm doing a few pages for Nasser's book. Yep.
Oh yes, Nasser's doing another book also. Nasser is a very productive young man. I really like it.
Dude, he has a ton of books. Yeah.
And,
so I'm doing a part of his anthology book. I'm doing like 4 or 6 pages for his anthology book.
That sounds so fun.
Yeah, we'll see. It's challenging. It's going to be a little bit different because it has children involved in horror. So I'm gonna approach that one different than I do the Handyman. So yeah, so we'll see how it goes.
I am been doing.
That one's not going to be released, I think, till 2020 though. So we got a while.
Been doing some story advising for Nasser on on one book called Blood Reaper, Trixie Kane, Blood Reaper. That's the working title at the moment.
Okay.
And then we've also been working on a book together called Serpent. And, no, there's no date yet on that one when it should be coming out. I think that Blood Reaper is being drawn as we speak, and so I'm not sure though when he's going to debut it. I would guess maybe this spring. And his goal is to do 3 comic books this year, and also 3 of his novels that he publishes as ebooks.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, my goal is to do 3 books as well. Maybe even start my 4th. So
my goal is to do 6.
Ouch.
But I write, so it's really easy for me.
Yeah. So it takes a little bit longer for the artwork.
It does.
So yours and I will be the next book that I work on.
and that's going to be a fantasy book
Mm-hmm.
called The Young Barbarians. And Young Barbarians is there are no dragons. I'm very proud that there are no dragons in my sword and sorcery book.
Oh, there may be no dragons when you're writing it, but there may be some in the background.
Dragons are referenced, but you know, I stripped all dragons out of it because I'm so fed up with friggin' dragons being in everything.
I'm not.
Like they've overused dragons, so I wanted to do some other stuff instead that they don't do as much, like lava monsters and fun stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about a group of kids whose parents are kidnapped by an evil wizard.
Okay.
And they have to journey across their world
Mm-hmm.
to save their families. And it's very much an Amblin Entertainment sort of a vibe. You know, I grew up on Spielberg and Bob Zemeckis when Bob Zemeckis made good movies.
Mm-hmm.
And so I always try to bring that to anything I'm writing that's
well, I would say
all
it's
ages
like,
fun.
What do you call it? What's that movie? Saved by Me? You know, with the boys.
Stand By Me.
Stand by Me. Yeah.
That's a depression case. I mean, that's a really fun movie until, you know, you get to the end.
But no, it's like the first part when they're friends and they're
River Phoenix
exploring.
is murdered for money in a mugging. Yeah. It's like, oh, that's sad.
But the camaraderie vibe type thing.
Yes, very much the camaraderie. Or you could compare it to the Goonies.
Yeah, you could.
And or you know, the first part of the Fellowship of the Rings, which is the good part of the Lord of the Rings. And all you need is the first disc of the extended cut of Fellowship of the Ring, and you know, I'm good to go.
All right.
But I grew up on, you know, all those 80s films, and, you know, there's definitely elements of Conan the Barbarian in it.
Oh, yes.
Not the new millennium Conan.
No, the original one.
Yes, the original, just so we're clear.
Yeah.
Not the Destroyer, the Barbarian.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it. And with Brad drawing it, it's, you know, it's clearly going to be amazing. And we're going to find an awesome colorist for it.
Yeah, we will need a colorist for that one. So if you're a colorist, check out, you know, get in touch with Crypto. So
That's right. I don't know how you will get in touch with me. You can get in touch with me at facebook.com/ I want to say it's Crypto Comics Direct. But if you just look up Crypto Comics, you'll see my logo there.
Yeah.
Send me a message. I'm looking for
your colorist. Color over.
And you have to be a totally awesome colorist. You have to be as good as Kyle Ritter from Cyberfrog Blood Honey. It's very important. Colors are vital to me.
Yep. Because I'm just doing line art for that one. So, yep. But after that, my next book is going to be called, what's it called? The Hill Not Mentioned. I just had to look at the book.
The Hill Not Mentioned.
It's another fantasy book. Yep. It's
the
done
Hill.
by Scott Clegg. Yep.
Like the hills have eyes, but the hill not mentioned.
Yeah, it's called Hill Not Mentioned.
And is it high fantasy or low fantasy?
It's definitely high fantasy for sure.
So you're going to be saving the world.
Yeah. So yeah, it will be, you know, one issue at a time, you know, or one 48-page book at a time. But
how many books are you projecting it to be?
That is a good question. So I only have in front of me the preface for the first novel.
The preface, okay.
The preface for the first novel. So that'll be its own 48-page issue, which I got to break down. And
that's
then,
a novel.
Yeah, he wrote novels.
Who's he?
So his name is Scott Clegg. He's a customer of mine at the shop.
Okay.
He was a ghostwriter for a lot of the D&D books, a lot of the TSR books.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he did a lot of the Middle Earth role-playing games. You know, all their stuff, and he did that for years. And he never got credit for it because he was a ghostwriter. But you know, he brought him into the shop and showed me what he did, and I was like, dude, this is cool. And it's a great. He's an awesome fantasy author. And he created this whole world, and so this one takes place in a almost a Middle Eastern type setting, but it's fantasy based, you know. So think of Egypt, but fantasy. So it'll be cool on a port town, yeah. But we'll go into that a little bit more later on this year. So
that sounds great. That's going to be like a winter release or a.
Most likely at this point, yeah, probably sometime in the winter. Yeah.
Well, after the success of your book and my book,
yep.
Mike, you know, how are you going to have time to get to this?
Well, that'll be the next one in line. So.
Okay. How long does it take you to draw a 48-page book?
That is a good question. It really depends on what's going on in my life at the time. So,
okay. Are you excited to quit your job at the comic shop and draw full time?
I would love to quit my job at the comic shop and just do artwork full
time. Not
time.
because you hate the comic shop.
No, I love my job. I love my job. Yeah,
drawing.
I love the shop. I will
awesome.
go in every Tuesday though, still, and work on comics. So, yeah, even if it was for free, I would still do it. So,
wow, that's good. It's nice to hear, man. Passionate.
Yeah, that and the only other thing is just some basic health stuff I want to get done for this year. And
what is that? Do you want to talk about it?
Just some weight loss and things.
How much are you going to lose, Brad?
I don't know yet.
What do you want to lose?
At least 100.
At least 100. Yep. I told you people, he's a large man. A
yeah,
large man can lose 100 pounds.
Pretty easy, actually. Yeah.
And then you'll be down to what, 450?
No, less than that.
350, 325. I'm gonna get you to 325. I think we can do that.
325 this year. Wow, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
That's like a full-time job and then a full-time job drawing.
What about lap band? Would you do lap band?
No, actually, I wouldn't. I would do gastric sleeve though.
Oh, so, I don't know if I'm familiar with that one.
So in the realm of surgeries for weight loss surgeries, there's when they say weight loss surgery, there's like 3 types. There's the bypass, gastric sleeve, and then another one. But the gastric sleeve, like they just cut a portion of your stomach out, leave everything else intact, so you have less healing time. You know.
Okay.
But you won't lose as much as the others, which is fine. You know, but I'd rather have less damage done to my internals, less recovery time. So.
So we're just going to try to get you down. 2019, Brad's going to go from morbidly obese just down to good old natural regular obese.
Yeah, let's just do a large chubby guy. Yeah.
Ladies love a large chubby guy.
I wouldn't mind, yeah.
Unless they're stuck up bitches, then they do.
Let's not go there. But
no, we won't go there.
Yeah, so yeah, that's the goal. So yeah.
I'm proud of you for just even trying.
Oh, thanks, man.
Drawn Talk's going to lose some weight this year too.
Dude, he hasn't much to lose.
Yeah, he's going to go from like 175 down to 155.
We'll fun handyman and lose the weight. Yeah, that's the good. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do, man. We'll do it. Yeah. So
maybe you could combine the two. Like maybe you could go have surgery where they suck out the fat, and you could just send it. Like for every $25 you contribute, I will send you half a pound of
my fat
glycerin.
No way, dude. That's gross. Oh man, but yeah. But that's what we're gonna be doing this year, man. So that's what I'm going to be working on this year.
I think these are all great goals.
They are. We are going to be I'm going to be implementing some channel changes as well. I did a poll, so people want to see more of my artwork. They want to see me draw live, but also do time-lapse stuff. So I'm going to be adding more of those into my schedule throughout the week.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, but that'll be happening very soon. It's probably next week or so. Yeah. We'll start putting those in.
Risey thinks it sounds cool, but at the same time, he's probably drunk right now. So
he might be drunk. I haven't been able to mute him yet. So
well, you can't mute him in the chat. I could time him out if you want.
No, I could do that too. But
okay,
yeah. No, he has a wrench though. You can't time him out. Only
terrible. You should take that wrench away. He might hurt himself with that.
It's all good. Anyway, so hey, dude, thanks for coming on with me today, Matt, and talk about the booby and helping this conversation go a little more fluid.
Yeah, I really enjoyed listening to the Venom chat. I think Risey should totally come to my stream tonight if he doesn't have to work and join us for the reading of The Murder on Neon Mountain, an original screenplay for adults only. There's adult language. There's some nudity. I mean, I'm just going to be reading the nudity, but
I thought you were going to be nude during it.
And also, yes, I myself and Slick Jimmy Love from Little Girl Lethal, we will be reading in the nude.
Yeah, I'll just I won't be there for that.
Well, we won't have the camera on or anything like that. Well, I mean, he will, but I won't.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, hey, thanks for watching, hanging out with me today, and with Matt with Crypto Comics. Please like, subscribe. Share with your friends and family.
The ding dong for notifications.
Honestly, I haven't had my channel for very long. You guys are awesome. We're pushing up on 200 subs right now. Dude, thanks so much for everything, guys. I appreciate it. So, anyways, you
Hail
guys have a
Raven.
lovely New Year.
Say
And,
Hail Raven.
No, I already told him I'd never seen that
I'll
stuff.
say Hail Raven.
Okay. All right. Have a great New Year, guys. I'll see you after the New Year. Take care.